Hey guys, today's story is going to be about a player that tries to seduce the DM and failed at it, so they got upset. To clarify things, this was a game I DM'd for my girlfriend's group on Discord. I didn't know any person besides her, and another tag should be NSFW. You'll see why later. The cast are as follows. The DM was myself. I was also the only male in the group. Then there was my GF, X, and F. F was the problem player. And that's why I picked F as her cover letter, because I've never seen a bigger so-and-so in my life. So GF had asked me to DM for her and her two female friends, which will become relevant later. Their previous DM left because of some inner issues, and I didn't ask for clarification. And, oh boy, that was a stupid decision. So, we all connected on Discord for Session 0, with mics and webcams. Small note, it was a week before, during the corona quarantine. So, we couldn't play in person. So, I clarified what the setting was, and we started making characters. No one had any problems, and I checked their backstories. The works. Everything seemed normal. GF was playing a human Great Old One warlock, X was playing a Dragonborn Battlemaster fighter, and F was playing a mess. In her backstory, she said that she was an old unknown creature polymorphed into a half-elf, and her alien origin granted her magical powers. I thought, cool, I'm going to use GF's patron, and it will have some influence on F. And eventually, I'll create some hook for them. But then I saw what was on her sheet. Imagine browsing D&D Wiki, collecting the most overpowered things you could find. Now, take all of the things that you can find, and combine them, and then buff them. Imagine some anime protagonist with a cool flaming sword that can turn into a flamethrower, who has legendary armor that can shoot nuclear bombs and with powers to become invisible, as well as being able to kill people by just looking at them, as well as being able to contest gods, capturing those gods, and making them your slaves. It was a half-elf, half-Cthulhu, with a plus 50 to Wisdom, Charisma, and Constitution, as well as having True Sight, Mind Control, the ability to blow up mountains, and the ability to innately cast the power word Kill, without the 100 HP restriction. She also handed me art of this character. It was apparently her, but hentai-ized. It was a half-elf woman with breasts larger than her head, and with tentacles down below. I was tempted to end the session right there, pour bleach into my eyes, and then drink hydrochloric acid, as that image was going to haunt my dreams forever. But I resisted it. So, after I snapped out of my lapel du vide, I immediately banned any homebrew races and classes at the table. Now don't get me wrong, she could still play her aberrant sorcerer, and she could even be a polymorphed Cthulhu, but polymorphed means that she couldn't use her powers, as if she knew what powers a Cthulhu would have anyway. She had immediately gone silent, muted herself, and then left the chat.
Ah, great, here we go again.
Now you two be honest with me. Was she the reason your previous DM had left? And with that, they told me. GF apologized for not warning me about her, as she was worried that I could refuse to DM if I knew who the heck F was. I would have DM'd anyway, because I love my girlfriend too much. But that's irrelevant. So I wrote her on Discord. I complimented her art, because artists like that, right? Well, she wasn't an artist, but, well, white lies aren't that bad sometimes. And she responded. She said that she was sorry, and she would pick a regular half-elf. Fine, I thought. One problem solved. As we had a few more hours of free time, we decided to start the campaign with some random roleplay. During the festival of Kazgoloth, or something like that. I don't remember. It was a forgotten god and patron of lost souls. They asked what was going on and why the villagers were worshipping such a bizarre deity. After some conversation with some random woman on the street, they found out that the village was once known for people going missing and coming back without souls. However, after KGL started to be worshipped, the phenomenon stopped. Now, there is one thing about F that I have to admit. She knew how to roleplay, and how to do voices. Her narrative abilities were surprisingly good, actually. However, the whole scene was kind of unsettling, as she was openly flirting with the NPC. After this, the rest of the session continued without incident, and we finished it with a screaming mother, who found her child dead on the ground with completely black eyes. It was supposed to be a cliffhanger, one I thought was a good one. After the session, GF and X both disappeared. However, F insisted that she had something urgent to tell me. She started to talk about her sealed abilities, and how her character wanted to unleash her power, and most importantly, how she wanted to achieve her true form. At this point, I made a big mistake. I didn't anticipate that she would show me more art. I was mostly focused on my music, and that's what she did. She showed me another picture. This time, it was a naked Cthulhu-like creature that was covered by something gross and doing things to itself with its own tentacles. At this point, I had enough of her bullcrap, so I left the chat as well. The following day, I talked to GF about this, and I said that I wanted to kick F out. But GF asked me to give her one last chance. They were friends after all. I eventually agreed and started planning the next session. In the meantime, F had wrote me a few times. She tried flirting with me, but I ignored her. Sometime later, another session happened, which, at the time of the writing, this was yesterday. We all sat on our beds with laptops and headsets and were getting ready to play. F was a few minutes late, but that wasn't really a big deal. When she finally showed up, she apologized and we started the session. They investigated the boy, to which F interrupted me, stating her displeasure, and I asked her not to interrupt me.
But no, why is it a boy?
Why not?
Yeah, I see. You're a male, so you can't have female characters in your game.
What the heck? She talked to 2 people so far, and both of them were women. But the child's gender wasn't important, so I changed it to be a small girl. F was happy, and the players continued to investigate the body and the people around it. While they did this, the girl stood up and attacked them. I know it's a bit cliché and cheap, but everyone rolled for initiative. X won and used dodge action, as she didn't want to hurt the kid. And then came F's turn.
DM, roll a whiz save for the girl.
Cool. She's casting a spell on it. 17 plus 4, it's a 21. I announce that it passes. F smirked and my phone vibrated. I looked at it, and I see a drawing of a completely nude F covering her parts with hands. I look at her kind of confused and scared, as she, in front of GF, winks at me and bites her lip, trying to look like a sexy cat girl. Yeah, it still passes. 21.
No, it doesn't. With my plus 28 on charisma, my save DC is 38. It doesn't.
I look at her, confused and readying to kick her out for picking the homebrew and breaking our rules. As she continued,
Her eyes turn normal, with small hearts in them, and she slowly strips off her clothes and starts playing with herself.
And she looks at me, this entire time. I brace myself, as I hadn't kicked a player out before. But the story has gone on long enough, so I'll say it quickly. We vote if we let her play again with us. And it was a unanimous no.
Wait, let me tell you something.
She exclaimed.
DM, you are one big jerk. Males are so disgusting. I even tried to seduce you. I tried to make jokes.
And she started crying. And she didn't stop crying until I kicked her out of the server. But in any case, guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. And if you have a story that you'd like me to narrate, let me know. And as always, thanks for watching, and have a good one.